All right, so this, of course, is the biggest story that's happening in Britain, where amidst the political chaos in the United Kingdom, the leader of the House of Commons, Penny Mordaunt, has now confirmed that she is in the running to become the next Prime Minister of Britain. The Penny Mordaunt is the first candidate to officially launch her contest. She came in third in the last contest, and earlier she had secured some strong support from her fellow members of Parliament, but had just missed out on making it to the final two. She has so far received the support from members of Parliament such as John Lamont, Maria Miller, Bob Seeley and Damien Collins. Now, earlier this week, Mordaunt had stepped in for Liz Truss in the Commons to answer an urgent question from the Labour Party. As outgoing Prime Minister Liz Truss resigned after 6 weeks in office, the Tory members of Parliament who want to replace her have until 2 p.m. local time on Monday to gather the support of 100 members of Parliament for her to be officially in the run. Now, the fast-track contest for the next UK Prime Minister will be declared within a span of a week, and some political analysts have now said that there is a real possibility of Boris Johnson making his comeback to rewrite his legacy. The Telegraph has reported that Johnson is in fact privately urging Tory members of Parliament to back him for a return to number 10 with a promise that he can actually win it for the Conservatives in the 2024 general elections. Now, Johnson is also reportedly reaching out to Rishi Sunak to get back together after their public fallout that cost Boris Johnson his premiership. According to reports, Johnson has the support of Cabinet Ministers Simon Clarke and Jacob Rees-Mogg. An opposition Labour leader, Sir Keir Starmer, and other opposition parties have called for an immediate general election, while saying that Boris Johnson is still a unit for the office.
Well, I remind myself that only 3 months ago, Boris Johnson left office because most of those who were serving him on his front bench had declared that he was unfit for office. So to go from the kamikaze budget under Liz Truss back to a man that his own party has declared is unfit for office is the most powerful argument you could possibly have for a general election, so that we can put the alternative case to the country, which is stability, growth, an economy that works for everyone, rather than this chaos.
So what do the people in London think? Well, they are split on whether the United Kingdom should call for a general election and who should in fact lead the Conservative Party now.
I mean, it's difficult. I don't think there's a way out of this. A general election causes more uncertainty. A lack of general election is thoroughly undemocratic. It's a difficult choice.
I like the sounds of Richie personally, but he's proven that he can do the job in the Parliament, not necessarily as PM, but in other parts of the business. So Boris coming back, I don't know if it's wise going back to that right now.
Now, Truss resigned after a rebellion by the Tory members of Parliament, making her the United Kingdom's shortest-serving Prime Minister in its history. Now, Truss was elected in September to lead the Conservative Party by its members and with support from only around a third of the party's lawmakers. And we earlier spoke with Adam Schwartz, who's a writer and a political commentator, and he joined us live from London, and this is what he's had to say about this issue.
I think that is the most likely. I mean, Rishi Sunak hasn't actually pretty much said anything since Liz Truss took over, understandably, because you can't, as the main leadership rival, look like you're trying to undermine the person who beat you to the leadership. So it's really, unclear whether, either candidate would choose Hunt. As I say, I think it's more likely that Sunak would choose Hunt, probably because, they might be more kind of fiscally aligned. I say Boris Johnson is much more likely to remove Hunt, mostly for kind of political reasons. And certainly, if you look at Boris Johnson's previous government, in the same way as Liz Truss kind of appointed just loyalists rather than trying to reach across a party, Boris Johnson very much did that as well. His cabinet mainly consisted of loyalists rather than people that he thought, were potentially good at the job or that he needed to include for kind of maintaining party unity. So I think, it's unclear at the moment. It's perfectly possible that Sunak will want some kind of running mate to give extra credibility to his campaign. Possibly even Penny Mordaunt, might even join forces with Sunak, who knows at this point, on a basis that she would become his chancellor. So I think it's very much up in the air now. But I think, what really markets are looking for, of course, as they always do, is stability, credibility, and continuity. And I think very much Hunt provides that at the moment. So I think there'll be huge market pressure really on both both candidates to keep hunting post, certainly for the medium term.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.